Hey UT Kids, and welcome back to UT Kids Online. It has been a while from we have joined together online, and we are so excited to share this new series with you and for you to join in with us on everything that is coming over the next few weeks. But before we start our new series, I wanted to talk to you this week about something that's really important and something that will change how effective this series is. It will change how you view this series. And I wanted to talk to you about the word priorities. Yeah, it is a really big word. You're probably wondering what it means. When I looked up the word priority in the dictionary said that a priority is something that is the most important. It's something that you put first. So you might have people that are your priority, who you give the most time to. You might have things that are your priority that you spend the most money on. And we're going to be talking today about priorities. Do you have any people in your life who you spend the most time on? Maybe it's your best friend who, you'll rearrange things with other friends so you can see them, or you'll miss things with other friends so that you can see your best friend, because your best friend is the most important. Maybe it's your mum or your granny or your dog. Maybe you miss out on spending time doing other things or with other people because you want to spend time with that person. They're your priority. What about God? Do we do that with God during our weeks and in our lives? I wonder. To help us explore this a little bit more, we're going to need our imagination caps. So can you put yours on? Ready? Give it a creak and make sure it's on really tight. Okay, are you ready? So I want you to imagine, close your eyes, and imagine that you have just been given this week for pocket money a brand spanking new £10 note. It's Sunday afternoon, and whoever gives you pocket money, or if you don't get pocket money, whoever would give you pocket money comes in and says, I want to give you this for this week. It's to last you all week. Here is your pocket money. I got one too. A brand spanking new £10 note. It doesn't even have any creases on it. It's straight out of the machine. Imagine what you could spend your £10 note on. What would you spend it on first? You see, the things that are our priorities, we spend the most money on, but we also spend the most time on. And our time is a little bit like a banana. Yeah, trust me, it does make sense. Our time's a little bit like a banana. And so is our money. So we're going to pretend that these represent our week. So I've got £10 on Sunday, and I've got a full banana's amount of time for the week, okay? Now, if I'm a Christian, and I believe that God is my priority, and I'm putting God first, really, I should be giving God some of my time, shouldn't I? Should be saving God some of my time. But you see, I only really go to church on a Sunday, so I'll just wait until Sunday. I'll wait until UTkids comes back online. And maybe some of you think like that about God. You think, I'll think about God when we go to church, or I'll think about God when we watch UTkids online, or when we watch church on live stream. I'll think about God then. And then you get to Monday in school, and your friends, well, they're going to the sweetie shop after school, and you have this brand spanking new £10 note. So it would be wrong really not to spend on sweeties, but we'll save some for God at the end. So we'll just open up our banana, and we'll just take a wee bit off for our sweeties. Just a wee bit. There, still loads left for God at the end of the week. But then you see on Tuesday, it's an important day, because Tuesday after school, I go to an after school club, and in my after school club you have the option of getting ice cream, and I really wanted ice cream, and I couldn't really say no because my friends were all getting it too, so I just decided to spend a wee bit more on ice cream. But it's fine, because we'll still have some for God left over at the end of the week. It's all good, still loads left over. And then Wednesday. Now, Wednesday is a very important day because you see, it's actually Crazy Hair Day in my school, and you have to pay £2 to get Crazy Hair Day. So, like, I had to have crazy hair, didn't I? So I just took another wee bit off there. Now it's Thursday and there's still a lot left for Sunday. It's okay, God, don't you worry. There's still some time left and some money left for you on Sunday. But then, you see, it's my friend's birthday on Saturday, so I need to get them a really, really good present. So I'll just take some more money off for that. That was quite an expensive present. And Friday is football day, and it costs some money too, so just take a wee bit off for football. Saturday's still a wee bit left, but Saturday is McDonald's day, so I had to get a McDonald's. You can't say no to a Saturday McDonald's. And then what sometimes happens is we get to Sunday and we realise that whether it's our time or whether it's our money, this is all we have left. A smelly, broken, spotty, rotten old banana peel. This isn't really worth anything, is it? Sometimes what we realise we do is, even though we think God's our priority, we actually end up only giving him the scraps. And by the end of our week, we realise this is all we have to give God. The scraps. I think that would make God very happy. There's a story in the Bible actually that I've been thinking about this week that talks a little bit about this. So this story is found in Genesis 4, and it's a story of two brothers. One's called Cain, he's the older one, and one's called Abel. Now, you might be wondering who their mum and dad are. Well, you see, their mum and dad were Adam and Eve. Do you remember the very first two people on the earth? And shortly after Adam and Eve got kicked out of the Garden of Eden, they were really, really sorry for what they had done. And so they asked God to show them a way that they could show him that they were sorry, and that they could thank him for keeping them safe and for saving them. And God asked them to make a sacrifice, and he asked them to sacrifice a lamb. So that basically meant that they had to cook a lamb, the best lamb, for God. So that was okay. And they did this every year as a tradition, as Cain and Abel were little boys. Now when they grew up, Cain became a farmer. So he dealt with all of the wheat and all of the straw and all of the hay and all of those things on the family farm. Abel wasn't quite a farmer, he was a shepherd. So he dealt with the sheep and with the animals. And when they grew up, just like our mums and dads quite often tell us about Jesus, their mum and dad, Adam and Eve, started to tell them about how God had asked them to present a sacrifice. And the boys had two very different reactions. Now, they were quite like normal brothers. They really, really loved each other and they played together when they were younger. But as they grew up, they realised they were quite different. And you can see that in this story. So Abel took it very seriously. And Abel decided, do you know what? I love God so much. So I am going to put God first, and I am going to give him my best lamb, my firstborn lamb, the very best one, the one that is the most important to me. And he sacrificed that lamb to God. Now that was really hard for Abel to give up his prized possession. And Cain, well, he thought Abel was a bit silly. And he thought to himself, do you know, God doesn't really need that lamb. And I'm not even a shepherd, I'm a farmer, so what would I be doing spending money on a lamb to give to God? I am going to just give him some of my wheat, because you see, my crops have done so well this year, I have extra. That means I'm not wasting anything, and I'll just keep God happy. So Cain gave God his scraps. And what happens in this story is God makes it very clear that Abel's sacrifice makes him happy and Cain's makes him sad. And this led to Cain getting very, very jealous of his brother. And you'll find out more in the story if you read on. But the point of this story is this: God deserves our best. The God who created us and who loves us, he deserves our best. And Abel understood this, and Abel gave God his best, and it made God so happy. Cain, well, he gave God his scraps. And although the Bible doesn't tell us this, we know God wasn't happy. I think he was probably quite hurt too. Now you're probably thinking, like, Megan, this was ages ago. How does this apply to me? Like, am I meant to sacrifice a lamb to keep God happy? No. You see, many years after this happened, God realised that we were never really going to be good enough for him, because we have this thing in our hearts called sin. And sin is all the wrong things we do, all of the little lies we tell, all of the times that we give God our scraps. And so he sent his prized possession. He gave us his best, and he gave us his son, and his name is Jesus. God gave us his best, his most important thing, his priority, the person that he put above everybody else, and God sent him to earth, and he died a horrible death. And when he died, he took all of our sins away, every single one. So that all we had to do, if we wanted a relationship with God and we wanted to be God's friend, all we had to do is just ask. And that's just amazing. How amazing that God would love us so much that he would send Jesus to make us his friends, to give us a relationship with him. And so, because of that big sacrifice that Jesus made, I believe that God deserves our best. Because not only did he make us, did he create us, did he make this whole world, he also sent his son to die for us so that we could live forever as God's friends. And that means that he never leaves us. He never ever, he never stops loving you. And I just think that's incredible. And I really believe that God deserves our best. Just like Abel, your very best. Now I know how easy it is to spend your time and to spend your money and all those things and to put God at the back until he's a wee afterthought on a Sunday. But I really want to challenge you as we prepare to go into our new series next week. I want to challenge you this. To give God your best this week. To make God your priority and to put him first. And I'm going to challenge myself because I have a very busy week ahead too. Here's some ways I think that you maybe could put God first. Maybe in the morning when you're eating your breakfast, you could pray inside your head to God, you could talk to God, or you could pray with your family. Maybe as you're going to school or coming home from school, you could ask whoever's driving you to play some worship music and you could spend some time with God worshiping. Or maybe you could decide that your bedtime story every night this week, or the book that you're going to read before you go to bed, could be God's Word, it could be the Bible, and you could spend time getting to know God more through that. I really want to challenge you UTkids to put God first and to think about the fact that God deserves your best. And I want to challenge you to give him your best this week. And as we start going into this next series, looking at who Jesus is, I want you to think about giving him your best. We're going to be back next week with a full program with singing and challenges and stories and all of those things. But right before we get there, let's really focus on what it's all about God's love for us and the fact that he deserves our very best. So that's all from me this week, UTkids. Make sure you complete your challenge and let us know how you get on with it. If you're at church on Sunday morning, either at our 10 a.m. or our 11:30 service, feel free to chat and wave over to any of your leaders and they'll be asking you how you've got on, and we would love to hear your stories. So stay tuned and we will see you either in person or online next week. See you later.